going on, everybody? Here we are. It's Friday. Get your Rebecca Black on. 22nd. 7-game slate. I'm surprised, actually, that it's only 7, but I'll take it. It's manageable.
Yep. Kind of really ugly, though.
There's some spots that aren't appealing. Anytime that you run a crunch, your initial crunch out of the day, and you're like, okay, cool, 60% Emmanuel Mudiay. You're never confident in how the rest of the day shakes out.
Yeah, exactly. I was just looking through the games last night, and I was like, oh, okay, it's 7 games. I like 7-game slates. And then I looked, and it's just like, I'm not going to be comfortable with the guys in my lineups.
No. Honestly, I wish they would just drop that Magic Grizzlies game from the slate. I know there's some value there and some things to like, but just as like a game, I'd rather them just start at 7:30 and call it a 6-gamer. Sorry, Magic. Sorry, Grizz. Not good.
I mean, while we're at it, we could drop the Knicks.
From the league?
Well, yeah, that too.
Because I'm cool with that. There's got to be a really decent G League team.
And then just end it at 8:30 and not have the Lakers. There we go. Nice little 4-gamer.
Yeah. I know these kind of questions are always stupid. Would a college all-star team?
No.
What's the line? It's a lot. I mean,
double digits for sure.
Yeah. It'd be like RJ Barrett, Zion, Ja. I can't name any more college guys, I think. I can name more guys on Duke.
Yeah, I'll say Cam Reddish.
Yeah. That's about it. I mean, we're getting to a point now where it's probably more realistic than not realistic. Like, it's not as if there are a lot of legitimate NBA players still on the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like when it's Kadeem Allen and John Jenkins and stuff, it's probably way more of a question than it seems.
Yeah, and I mean, there are NBA players in college.
Yeah, like, you know, if DSJ was there and they were fully healthy, it's different. But this ragtag group of the bottom half of this stuff, like, I would imagine most of the guys that we're going to name from the college piece are going to be better than Kevin Knox, and he's going to get 30 minutes. So
yeah, I think the bigger issue is DeAndre Jordan would go for 60 and 80.
Yeah, that would be a real rude awakening for Zion in that spot. It'd be the first time that he is not just like physically overpowering everything there. DeAndre would be like, I'm down, young buck. You'll get there. NBA Strategy is the promo code. 50% off your first month with us. Any monthly package you choose, including packages that have Fantasy Cruncher. So if you want to check us out, use that code NBA Strategy. One big word. As usual on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a new DFS site where I dominate Adam. If you go to the link that I just posted in chat, it's bit.ly/Awesemo. You enter the promo code AwesemoStrat. They will give you $5 for nothing. Nobody ever turns down free money. They'll give you a list of 20 players. You have to pick your favorite 10, whether they'll go over or under a particular points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, total. You get points when they do. I have all of mine on the screen right now. We'll touch on a couple props as we work our way through. Ready to tackle this slate?
Yeah, let's go.
Here we are. Starting it off with quite the doozy. Orlando Magic hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. 107.75 implied total for the Magic, 100.75 for the Grizzlies, which reminds me that I should go check to see if any of these lines have been updated because we had some gaps when I first woke up. That one's still 7 and 208. 7 and 208. Clippers Cleveland is 7-228, so I missed that one by 12 full points. 9.5, 220 works. 1, 229. Okay. Not like I was really worried about missing out on any additional Clippers and Cavs that I can get, but here we are. Cough. Stupid computers. No memory. No memory whatsoever. They can listen to me in my bedroom and understand that I need to buy Tide Pods or something like that, but can't make my windows stay in the same spot all the times. I digress.
What are you talking about?
Just back end stuff. Not important. Okay. I'm rambling. It's Friday.
It was just a weird spot to like have been zoned out while you were talking and then come back and you're talking about like Tide Pods and Windows. And I was just like, wait.
That's fair. Reasonable stance to take. So Magic are 7-point favorites, which honestly is a little weird to me just right out of the gate. Like,
it should be more, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's 8.5 on some spots now. It's still just 7, so I'm gonna bump that to 8.5 because I assume that line keeps moving. No Mike Conley. He's one of the only good things going on for the Grizzlies. Orlando, I believe, is fully healthy. Let me double check that. Yes, outside of Mo Bamba, but that's not really what we're talking about. Memphis has Mike Conley doubtful, Avery Bradley out, Kyle Anderson out, still Jaren Jackson out. That should be a treat.
CJ Miles also out.
Yes, CJ Miles also out. Not listed on the basketball monster depth chart any longer. Oh, yes, he is. He's just got an X next to his name. So sorry, buddy. Just stay to CJ kilometers. 10-2 on FanDuel, 9,600 on DraftKings, $46 on Yahoo. We've got Vooch here. Pace down spot. I like Vooch. He just happens to be slightly worse off than Jokic, and it makes it really difficult to get to him, in my opinion. So I have no qualms with getting to Vooch. I will have a little bit, but I won't get to him nearly as much as I want to because there are just too many better center options, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I'm at too. I still like him a lot. I just like him less than I normally do. Just an unappealing game on both ends in terms of pace. Like there's nothing to even look at here and be like, oh, maybe they'll play at this team's pace because they both play insanely slow. So and Memphis, I guess is still good defensively. I don't really know. They're missing 6 guys,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, like 9,600 for Vooch is obviously still a nice price tag on DraftKings. I assume that I'll get him. It's just like he's not like jumping off the page to me like he normally does.
Yeah, like I like him, and I would expect to get a lot of him. But I like Jokic so much more for $200 more on DraftKings, and I like him so much more for $200 more on FanDuel that he kind of just like prices himself out. All the randomness in the world still isn't saving him to get him more. That'll likely be a more manual adjustment once I see ownership. But I just have Jokic on a completely other tier than Vooch, so it really makes it hard to spend the same amount of money. I don't begrudge anyone for doing it. After that, it's the same sort of story for Orlando. This is not a great spot, but rotating through all of the guys that start and play 30 minutes is feasible. So if it's Gordon or Fournier, Isaac, DJ Augustine, or Terrence Ross, like I understand getting, roughly 5% of any one of those guys in a lineup, but I can't pick one out of the group that seems better than the others.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't have any of them grading out as particularly good plays on DraftKings. The caveat there is that I don't think I have a lot of players from the slate grading out as good plays.
Yeah.
So, obviously everything's relative, but it's certainly not a spot where I'm hoping that I get a lot of Orlando.
Right. It's really hard to make a priority out of the everybody's sort of priced the same. It's the Aaron Gordon on his own tier, 4 guys at the same shit, and they all kind of grade out the same. Like between Augustine, Ross, Isaac, and Fournier, I have them projected from 25.3 to 26.1 points today. They're all between 56 and 5,900. Like they all have the same salary, they all have the same projection. What the hell do I do with that?
Right, exactly.
It's a shit matchup.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'm right there. Looking at DraftKings, Isaac, Ross, Fournier, Augustine are all between 25.6 and 28.5.
Yeah, that's craziness. Ooh, ownership is up. Grab that. I hope I don't see any weird numbers that have. Well, I wouldn't even mind it, but hopefully somebody's chalky on Orlando. I'd rather have a fade just like pre-baked into everything. All right, DraftKings chalk all looks similar to what I would have expected. FanDuel chalk looks similar to what I would expect. Vooch at 19% on FanDuel, 16 on DK. Nobody else getting any love outside of Aaron Gordon on FanDuel, so that all seems to be following our normal thought process. Let's go to Memphis, where it doesn't get better. 99 is the implied total. Congratulations, Grizzlies. Even in 2019, you're still not projected to score 100 points. Pace down. Really difficult defensive matchup. Orlando has been the best defense on this entire slate over the last 15 games. The problem here is that we don't have Mike Conley, and there is value to be found, and I'm getting a lot of the Grizzlies side in weird ways. So Jonas is 7,700 on FanDuel, 6,600 on DK. Massive game his last time out. I have a little bit on DraftKings. Grades out really well. We're projecting 33% ownership to Jonas right now. How you feeling about him today?
That seems high.
Yeah. I got 14 and I was just like, oh yeah, that works. That's a solid number for 6,600.
Yeah, I mean, that said, I actually do have him grading out, really well at 6,600. That's
Same.
just too cheap of a price tag. But again, the minutes, he played huge minutes last game, but that doesn't have to be the case every night. For the most part, it hasn't been because Joakim Noah is playing so well. It is a game where I guess they could play Noah alongside Valanciunas, which would help solidify his minutes. It is a big Orlando team. But I mean, if I give Valanciunas 28 minutes, I get him as a great play.
Yeah, I gave him 27, and I still think it's a really good play, but I'm not seeing the need to have him in a third of my lineups. Not really much for me on Noah. I have him in at 24 minutes. Grades out fine. You just can't be a priority, in my opinion.
Right.
DeLon Wright. So he is 5,100 on FanDuel, 4,900 on DraftKings, and he is the chalk. We are projecting 51% ownership to Wright on FanDuel. He is third on DK at 39%. I actually came in way below this number, so it's going to make me want to at least look at it a little bit further. I knew he'd be popular. How is he grading out for you? And how many minutes did you project him for?
Yeah, I have him at like 36 minutes. And
that'll do it.
But so if I go to 34, he grades out really, really well. The thing for me though is that he's like 4,900 and Tyler Dorsey's 3K, who obviously we'll talk about. 4,900, it's really easy, not even necessarily for him to fail, but for him to just like give you a mediocre score where you wish that you had been more contrarian and not just like jammed him in everywhere. Especially when this is such an unappealing game. It's a great defense. It's a slow game. So I don't know. Like he grades out really well for me, but it's just not a spot where I feel really good about it, knowing how popular he's going to be.
Yeah, I just bumped him up to 34 minutes. Like, I'm clearly going to get him. It's hard to not get a decent player that's going to play 30 plus minutes. He just kind of works his way in there one way or the other. Figure out where the rest of these minutes should go.
The problem for me and what I need to figure out what the issue is so he's played 266 minutes without Conley on the floor. Yeah. He's averaged 0.88 points per minute. For some reason, I have him projected at 1.08 today.
You can go ahead and dial that one back a skosh.
You should be at like 0.8.
I have him at 0.80.
Yeah, that's where he should be.
Yeah, and he still grades out as like a fantastic play too. So
right.
Look, I'm going to have DeLon Wright. I don't get the sense that I'll get to 50% on FanDuel, but, in the 30s and 40s. I understand why he's chalk, and he should be. That's not the only guy I'm getting way too much of on this team. The next guy that I'm going to name isn't being followed with the ownership. 4K on FanDuel, 3,600 on DraftKings, flat min on Yahoo. How do you feel about Bruno? And how many minutes do you have him playing?
I have him at 30. I think it could go up.
Yeah, I have him at 30 as well. He's at 4 and 6% expected ownership. I don't have anywhere near that number. It's miles higher than that.
I would assume that that's around where I come in.
4% and 6%?
Somewhere down there, yeah.
So not 25 and 36?
No.
Okay. I don't know what to do to stop that from happening. I know how to stop it from happening. What I mean is, I don't know if I should.
I mean, has this guy had a single good game all season?
No, you probably shouldn't even be in the league. I'm not doing a great job of...
I have him at 0.74 points per minute.
Went for 8x in the last game. 41 minutes.
Yeah. I have him at
27.7 fantasy points in 41 minutes. Hey, man. You have him at what?
0.74 points per minute.
You have him at 0.70. I project him for 21.
I have him at 22, so I don't. Maybe I'll get a bunch, and I just don't realize it yet.
I think you might just because there's not a lot out there right now.
Yeah, but like I just don't know why I'm getting him ever over like Delon Wright and Tyler Dorsey, and I have Justin Holiday ahead of him.
Oh, I have him miles ahead of Justin Holiday.
How do you have him miles ahead of anyone?
I don't know.
I don't have him miles ahead of me.
You just, I wish I had an answer to that. I think it's a large combination of a really rugged standard deviation on a guy with a mildly small sample is not helping. But 3,600 at 30 minutes is like, he projects better than Justin Holiday on a per minute basis, right?
Yeah, slightly, but I have Holiday for more minutes.
How many minutes did you give Holiday?
35.
Okay, I'm at 34. Look, anything that came out of this Memphis team was not going to make me feel better. I'm anxious to see you run a crunch and see if you get any Bruno.
I really hope I don't. Beyond Dorsey, Wright, and a center of your choosing, I would be perfectly fine just fading this team.
Yeah, so Dorsey is the other guy. 51% expected ownership on DK. I'm right there. He's flat minimum, should play a bunch of minutes. Javon Carter is available. Just FYI, he tweeted out last night that he will be in Orlando. So special thanks going out to him for just being really helpful.
Yeah, they do still have 10 bodies?
Yeah, I have 9 guys getting minutes. And that includes Ivan Robb, who did not play in this most recent game. For I don't know why. I also didn't expect Chandler Parsons to play 20 whatever the hell minutes in that last one.
Is Watanabe with the team?
That's how we're going to say that?
Yep.
Okay. I have no idea.
How's it pronounced?
Watanabe.
Okay. Is Yuto with the team?
There we go. As far as I can tell.
Okay, so then they would have 11 bodies.
Doesn't have the G League distinction or anything on his name. Well, his last highlight video from YouTube was October 7th of 2018. Strong performance in what I imagine was Summer League, or not Summer League, preseason. He is on a 2-way. I don't know if he's with the Memphis Hustle right now. Hasn't played in, this entire last month. Let's see if he has a game log. The hell team did I just say he was on?
Memphis Hustle.
Thank you. Schedule. Fuck his results. All right. So the Memphis Hustle played on the 19th. Watanabe played 36 minutes, as did Julian Washburn. So in theory, both of those guys can get there. Carter is already on his way. Is this real? Is that really the 19th? It is the 19th. So Tyler Dorsey played 34 minutes that day. We're assuming he gets a ton of minutes. Got 23 in the last one. Carter, we know, is on the way. I don't know if they're going to go to anybody else.
So, and for anyone wondering why we care about these guys that obviously aren't in play, it's one thing. I think it makes a big difference how many bodies they have, just because if Memphis comes into this game with 10 or 11 bodies in an unappealing matchup against Orlando and they have a bunch of chalk plays, like I'm more inclined to fade. If they only have 9 bodies or something like that, then it puts you in a situation where these cheap guys have to play huge minutes.
Right, like there's nothing to stop Javon Carter from being the one that should be the chalk play from the Memphis instead of Tyler Dorsey.
Right.
Like
I'm playing
he can
Tyler
just
Dorsey,
as easily be the guy that gets the 26, 28 minutes and Dorsey doesn't. So it is something to keep in mind and know who is active. And, maybe just don't play as much Bruno as I originally have at 9:49 a.m. That'd be my suggestion.
Mine too.
Yeah, that's fair. So favorite play out of this game on DK from Memphis?
I
use the term favorite a little liberally. Guy you expect to have the most of.
Have the most of Tyler Dorsey.
Okay. Yeah, same.
just because the price tag is $3,000.
That works. It should be fun. Let's go to Cleveland. Hit the like button, everybody. 110.5 implied total for the Cavs. 117.5 for the Clippers. Cavs in a little bit of a pace-up spot here. Get back to that depth chart for Cleveland because they have been walking wounded. Kevin Love questionable. Delly out. Otherwise, everybody should be available. I have Kevin Love in. I'm going to assume you do.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one guy with any sort of volume. Jordan Clarkson on FanDuel at 5,200. Got a little bit on DK of him, a little bit of Chetty on DK. I don't really have much interest in anything coming out of Cleveland.
Yeah, it's basically like Sexton and Chetty because they play huge minutes and they've actually been kind of decent. Like Chetty's my favorite player from Cleveland.
Yeah. I have him just behind Clarkson, but it's close.
Yeah, Clarkson's up there for me. I have him just behind Chetty.
Yeah, we're splitting hairs there.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a pace-up spot. You do get big minutes from some of these guys. Assuming Love is in, it obviously makes the front court a complete mess. Yeah. I don't have a problem with $7,700 Love though if he does play.
No, neither do I. I don't expect to get any of him, but I won't have to pay attention to him. If he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He won't be a priority for me.
If he plays, he's probably my highest owned Cleveland guy.
How many would you give him? 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have him in for 28 right now. I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, Chetty's my favorite non-Kevin Love guy from Cleveland.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say here. Larry Nance projected for 22% ownership on FanDuel. I assume that is because of Kevin Love's questionable tag. So I don't have any and don't plan to have any unless Kevin Love is out.
Do you remember who they played last game? Popcorn Machine doesn't have those like games.
I looked it up. Sacramento? No, that's not right. I literally looked it up this morning and looked at it. It was before I went on my rant about Utah in Popcorn Machine. What? Cavs played the Bucks.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, so Larry Nance played backup to Kevin Love and basically nothing else.
I gave Nance 24 minutes.
That seems about right.
And I don't have any interest in him at 24 minutes.
Yeah. Especially not playing center.
No, not at all.
I'd rather go to, I mean, I guess the position matters, but like Zizic for 24 minutes or Nance for 24 minutes, I would take Zizic.
Yeah, he's $1,200 cheaper on DraftKings. I'll take my chances. I don't need either of them. That's the easier place to go.
Yep.
All right, Clippers. Also not getting a lot here, and that kind of bums me out because I love taking anything I can against Cleveland. Pace down spot, though, for LA. I don't really have much Montrezl Harrell. He grades out fine. I don't have much Gallo. He grades out fine. Same for Lou Will. I'm just kind of right with the field here on DK. The prices are a lot better on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel. Is anybody standing out for the Clippers for you?
No, not really. At least not in not for like medium projections. Like obviously you get a ton of upside from guys like Williams and Harrell, but yeah, I mean it is a pace down spot, like you said. The thing is though, like I feel like I should have more. They've been so good since the trade. I'm trying to make sure I have their rates right now. Yeah, I mean, like I have Williams at 27 minutes, like 36 points. Gallinari is, I guess, grading out as my top guy, but it's still not as like a great player or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm relatively indifferent. I'll have those three guys, Harold Gallo and Lou Will, but not in any sort of volume. And then on FanDuel, I think they're pretty much garbage across the board. Just
Beverly on DraftKings is reasonable as well.
I have him pretty far below those other three guys, so I actually don't have him at all.
I have him in this when you factor in price. I have him in the same group.
Okay. There's not a lot of good stuff coming out of the early first two games, that's for sure. Have any good Thrive props? All right, Montrezl Harrell. One will be fun. Blocks. 0.5 is the number. You get 75 points for the over. How are you feeling about Montrezl Harrell's chances of picking up a block today?
They seem pretty good.
That is my sixth best prop today, taking the over in the 75 points. You should take my advice because I swept Adam in this contest. Oh, that was super fulfilling. You ready to go to New York?
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. Let me get to the depth chart. This morgue of a team. New York Knicks hosting the Denver Nuggets. Nugs on a back-to-back. 102.5 implied total for the Knicks. 113.5 for the Nuggets. 11-point favorites in New York. No Dennis Smith. No Vonleh questionable. Trier out. Kadeem Allen probable. Frankie Smokes questionable. Oh, God. This is just... I really, really don't even want to have this discussion. I don't have much interest in DeAndre Jordan, 6,400 on FanDuel, 5,800 on DK. I have very little confidence in the minutes. I think he makes for a nice GPP play, but I don't have him right now with any sort of volume. He's not projected for any ownership. Are you taking any sort of stand on DeAndre and Mitchell Robinson?
I assume that I'll have more DeAndre than I would like, just because he's playing really well, and he's still 5,800 on DraftKings, and people aren't going to play him. Yeah. And if this game actually stays close, I think he gets at least 26 minutes.
Yeah, I gave him 27.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about it, but I do know this: we have Mitchell Robinson projected for 19% ownership on DK. How do you feel there?
Why? Because he played 30 minutes last game?
Probably. I mean, he's 4,300, so like,
yeah,
there's certainly
even in 22 minutes he grades out good.
Yeah,
there's reasonable.
It's understandable. Not in a fifth, but like, he is a viable GPP option.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I hadn't actually looked at his price tag.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the same page in that like 19 is just kind of ludicrous, but
I don't even know that it is.
It kind of, well, today's been weird. Look, you could either get Mitchell Robinson in 19% of your lineups or Bruno Caboclo. So
right, like Mitchell Robinson clearly is the answer there.
Is it clear?
Very, 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 very clear.
Yep, I completely agree. I hate myself for even having a Bruno Caboclo take.
If I give Mitchell Robinson 22 minutes, I get him at like 27 fantasy points. So if he plays more than 22 minutes, then he gets more points.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Hell of a take. Hell of a take. Just clearly this is your best industry. Okay, Emmanuel Mudiay. He's 5,200 on FanDuel. He's 5,100 on DraftKings. Can you talk me off of him, please?
He played 34 minutes in a 30-point loss.
Yeah. I have more of him than everybody, I think.
I think if Kadeem Allen is in, it makes him riskier, but I still will get there.
Yeah, he's my second most exposed guy on DraftKings and first on FanDuel. That is never a good feeling. I don't know what to do about it, though. I mean, I got him in for 32 minutes. That could even be low.
Right.
It could also be 12 high.
Right. If Kadeem Allen's out, I think that you almost...
I don't even bat an eye at it then.
Yeah, you can almost feel safe in the minutes if Allen is out.
Yeah, especially with Trier out too.
Right. Yeah, I mean, basically you have Moody and Jenkins.
Yeah, so Allen's probable, right?
I thought he was questionable, maybe.
Yeah, he's probable.
Oh, okay.
So I gave Allen 22 minutes and Moutier 32. That could be 30-24 or something.
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know. Ultimately, We have Moody at 31% ownership on FanDuel and 22 on DK. I don't know what would have to happen through the rest of the day for me to not have like double those numbers.
Yeah.
And revenge narrative? I don't know. I'll take whatever I can get for this. Today I'll believe in the Emmanuel Mudiay revenge just because it fits my path and makes me feel better about it.
There you go. I will say that if I project Mudiay for 32 minutes, I get him as like a grading out as a good but not like phenomenal play on DraftKings. So maybe I don't end up double the field.
Ooh, okay. Now I just want you to run a crunch.
I'm going to put that off as long as I possibly can today.
There you go.
I don't think I'm going to like what I see.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I have Moutier as my second best point guard play behind Russ on FanDuel, at least on a per minute basis, but I'm having a lot of trouble getting to Russ, so it's a bigger discussion. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I have so much of the center for the Nuggets, but let's finish off the Knicks. I'm not really getting to anyone else except for Hazonia on DraftKings at 3,900.
Yeah, Hazonia at 3,900 on DraftKings. Also, Kadeem Allen at 3,300. I have him at 24 minutes. If I assume he's projected for like no ownership.
1%. Yeah, if I gave him 24 instead of the 22 that I did, I got him in 1% at 22, so I'll get him in like 8 to 10. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that he's no worse than a lot of other value on that people are going to play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to be.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't want to have two guys like Moutier and Hazonia and then cheer for it against what may be the best team in the West. I'm doing quote fingers.
Yeah.
Oh God. Get your Moutier and Hazonia on DK, people. No interest in Hazonia at 4,900 on FanDuel, I assume.
Probably not.
Okay. Let's go to Denver. 10-4 on FanDuel, 9,800 DraftKings, $44 on Yahoo. How do you feel about Nikola Jokic today?
Not as high as I think you are.
Okay. Interesting. Are you giving him a discounted minutes because you just think that the Nuggets shellac the Knicks? Or
I have him at 33 just because it's a back-to-back, and I don't want to give him more than that.
Yeah, I have him at 34. I'll feel comfortable taking a minute off of him.
Actually, and my bigger thing with him, I don't really know how to project him. He's just been so inconsistent as far as his usage goes, but since the All-Star break, he is still at 27.5%.
I have him a lot higher than that. Wait, what's that 27.5%?
His usage rate?
Yeah, I have it higher than that by quite a bit. So, might be causing some of my issues, I guess would be the word to use, but he's just he's grading out better than everybody on the entire slate for me.
I have him at 51.8 DraftKings points.
Okay, so that's how we know how different this is. 54.6.
Okay, yeah. I have him at 1.57 points per minute.
1.63. Yeah.
I still have him as one of the best plays just because there's a lack of other good plays, but like I do still have him ahead of Vooch.
Okay, that helps me at least a little bit.
Yeah. I have.
I'm going to end up with a bunch of Jokic one way or the other.
There's a $200 price difference on DraftKings, and I have Jokic projected for about 3 points more than Vooch.
Mine's way worse than that. I think I have them separated. Oh no, it's not. 4.8. 4.8. Yeah. I remember seeing a big gap in names, but Siakam was in between Jokic and Vooch on my DK side, and I remembered seeing the Siakam number and it being like 13.
Yeah.
Forgot about his dual eligibility. How you feeling about Paul Millsap? 7,200 on FanDuel, 7K on DraftKings.
I like the minutes.
Yeah. I love I'm perfectly cool with the FanDuel price. DraftKings 7K is a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like probably a better FanDuel play.
What is happening right now? I don't even care. Buy Slack. Goodbye, Slack. Jamal Murray was not great yesterday. That didn't go well for me. Still have a little bit on DK today, but nothing crazy. I'm getting a little bit of Will Barton on FanDuel. Are you getting anything else for the rest of the Nuggets?
4,400 Plumlee on DraftKings, I think, is reasonable because he's a power forward and he's good on a per minute basis.
Yeah. And is probably not going to have many issues with anything going on from the New York side.
Right.
And is probably first in line for a couple extra minutes when this inevitably goes poorly for New York.
I have him as my second best DraftKings play from Denver behind Jokic.
I have him third, actually, behind Jamal Murray.
Okay.
But it's close. I'm going to have to take like a deep look into Jokic. I hope I come away getting more. At least I'll like cheering for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy getting Jokic. But
yeah. Anything I can do to bring down that Bruno number? We good on this game?
I actually don't have Plumlee as my second best play. Now he's like in line with Millsap and Murray.
Okay.
Had to adjust some stuff.
Sounds good. Do we have... Okay. We've got a Thrive prop for this game. This is points, rebounds, and assists. The number is 26.5 for Jamal Murray. Even action on both sides.
26.5?
Yep.
Points. I have the under.
I also have the under. It is my least confident prop, though. I think the line is perfect. It would be my 20th of 20.
Actually, I might be like right around the same. I don't know. I can't do math.
I have him at 26.4. So I'm right on it.
I have him at 26.4.
There we go. Did you just load up my shit or?
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to get a lot of Bruno.
Nope.
Let's get out of this one. And go to a real basketball game.
This one almost made me some money the other night.
What are you talking about?
OKC Toronto.
What do you mean it almost? Did you bet on it?
No, Siakam scored like 63 points, and I tied for fourth in like the big $15 on DraftKings.
Yeah. Siakam was a heavy part of my lineups that night, and surprise, surprise, a very heavy part again today.
He ended up not being a heavy part of my lineups that night because that was the night that Milwaukee opened up. But
yeah, he
ended up being in a good lineup with James Harden.
Yeah. I had, I think, like 40-something that day. I have even more right now. 114.5 implied total for the Raptors, 112 for the Thunder. Raptors 5 additional possessions over their norm today. Monster pace up spot. No Kyle Lowry. So we've got Kawhi Leonard, 9,900 on FanDuel, 8,900 on DK, 42 on Yahoo. I've been riding quite the roller coaster with him, and now after a stretch of just not having him at all, with Kyle Lowry out, I think that Kawhi Leonard in this particular spot with the pace ups, like nature of this game, I've got quite a bit of Kawhi, and he's chalky too.
Yeah, I hate him so much. I had a lot of him last game, and he started out with like, what do you have, like 29 points in the first half?
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, and I just been like really good lineups, and then he had 31 at the end of 3. Like, he just, I mean, I'm with you. I like him. I'll have a lot. I think the price tag's appealing, the matchup's appealing, at least from a pace standpoint.
He's pretty chalky too.
Yeah,
30% on DraftKings, 32 on FanDuel.
He has a really tough individual defensive matchup, but the possessions are there.
I think he's pretty clearly the best small forward option on FanDuel.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I have him second at small forward or power forward on DK, just barely behind the guy that I'm about to talk about. Pascal Siakam is 8,400 on FanDuel, 7,200 on DK. So we have Kawhi at 32% ownership on FanDuel, 31 on DraftKings. We have Siakam at 15 and 17. I have 73 on DraftKings right now. Like, I think Siakam's my favorite play of the entire day. I don't know what I would want to do to get he plays a ton of minutes. This is a perfect spot for him, up and down. I can't imagine only having 17%. I'll have many multiples here. I love Siakam.
I'm trying to figure out exactly how much I love him, but I'm with you.
Okay.
How many minutes do you have him for?
35.
Okay, yeah, I was going to go 35 or 36.
Yeah, if I were going any direction, it would probably be higher. I cringe every time I see Josh at the top of a slate, though. Cool.
Does that ever happen?
Oh, come on.
I didn't know people were like out here sweating Thrive.
I didn't. That's fair.
But yeah, all right. So I get a lot of Siakam.
Yeah, I can't imagine not wanting to have him today. That 7,200 price tag is insanity. He's going to be in just about everything that I do across the board today. Doesn't matter the site. I just want to have him. Not chasing from 2 days ago either. I'm just following up the exact same thing I did before. Too good of a spot. And then I don't think that we have to say too much on Van Vliet. He's chalky. He's 56 and 53 on FanDuel and DK respectively. And he's going to play, I have 32 minutes in, probably a bigger number than that, and I'm still getting him in half my lineups.
Yep, same boat. I would rather play... I think I'd rather play Van Vliet than Wright.
I assume I agree with you. Let me look at it.
And I say that like I'm guessing because I am guessing because as we talked about during the Memphis game, I for some reason have Wright projected for a ridiculous per minute rate. I assume once I fix that, I'm going to prefer Van Vliet.
I have him a little bit ahead of Wright on DraftKings. Close. And then they are not at the same position on FanDuel? Nope.
Wright's a shooting guard, right?
Yeah. I assume I have Van Vliet ahead of Wright as well. Do you care about anything else from Toronto? Are you trying to hash out Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, or anything?
No, I don't.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't even really see anything interesting from their rotations against OKC last game.
Same. Yeah. Kawhi, Siakam, Van Vliet. Go to Oklahoma City. We've got Russ at 11-7 on FanDuel, 10-8 on DraftKings, 54 on Yahoo. Paul George, 10-6, $9,749 on Yahoo. I'm not getting these guys. They're both at like 20% ownership on both sites, and I am in the low single digits. How do you feel about Russ and Paul George?
Sorry, I forgot George, I guess, fouled out last game, but I was like, why didn't he play overtime? Yeah, I mean, I have them both as decent plays, but like I have trouble paying $1,000 more for Westbrook than for Jokic.
Right.
I have trouble paying $800 more for George than for Kawhi, even though George is like one of my favorite DFS guys and Kawhi is not.
Right. Ooh, exciting news coming out of YouTube chat. You ready for this?
Sure.
My shirt is en route to my house.
There you go.
That is a Thrive shirt, in case anybody is curious.
How'd you get that?
Weird. I was just going to tell you. I got that by sweeping Adam directly out of Thrive. I'm doing a broom motion. I haven't used the broom, and I couldn't even tell you how long. Shout out to Roomba. Get a Roomba sponsor. Only problem with Roombas is it's really hard to get dog crap out of the wheels.
Good to know.
Yeah. I barely have any exposure to this Oklahoma City team. A little bit of Steven Adams at 5,500, but that's really it for me. I can't get to Russ and Paul George right now.
I do have George graded out. So like I have George at 50, almost 53 points. I have Westbrook at almost 56.
I have Russ at 56. I have Paul George at 48.5.
Okay, yeah. So I'm higher on George than you. by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't anticipate getting there.
I have him as pretty comparable to Kawhi when you factor in price. I have him for like 2 or 3 points more.
I have Kawhi by 4/10.
Well, that's just silly.
Kawhi's been... I mean, those extra possessions for Kawhi really makes a difference in that per minute total.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's the skill level makes a difference for Paul George.
Yeah, Kawhi at 1.31 over the last 30, George at 1.24. So, also still better than him.
I have George at 1.43 for this game. He's 1.38 since the start of February.
I've got him at 1.27, so we are a little different on PG today. Something to look at. That's why we do these shows. I do this way more for my own personal sanity than for the public. Really hard to be just in your own head for this stuff. Having a sounding board is incredibly helpful, even if it sounds like Adam.
The key is having a sounding board, but also just knowing to ignore it like 9 out of 10 times.
Exactly. It's a sense check. Like I can say, I'm going to have 50% Bruno, then look at the reaction on your face and know, I don't know. I don't need to delve deeper into this. I have a mistake somewhere. When Bruno smashes, it's going to be great. Then I'll probably just watch Bruno tonight.
Right.
A movie that I've never seen.
I think I've seen it and just completely unmemorable.
I've never seen Borat either.
I've definitely seen Borat.
Yeah, never saw it.
I actually...
I don't know why I didn't see it either, because it was like right in the wheelhouse of like college and shit.
Yeah, I was in high school when Borat came out. I actually I had an AP Bio class that I took, and I didn't learn anything.
Brag.
So on the exam, you have to you have to write like essays, and I didn't even know what the words in the question meant, so I just like basically transcribed Borat.
See, I was efficient from the beginning and didn't get anywhere near any of that AP nonsense.
There you go.
I took whatever the remedial versions of everything that I could take were.
Yeah, that's the only AP exam I remember, because I remember I basically transcribed Borat for one question, and the people that like grade or read your essays are like teachers from other schools in the county. And so then I detailed how baseball playoffs were about to start, and how we were about to just like shit on every other school and just hope that whoever was reading it was from one of the schools I named.
Did you get additional like GPA credit for AP courses?
Yeah.
See, like my stupid ass high school, everything was the same. Whether you took AP or like the low level shit, you got that like everything was rated like 1.00. Like
that makes no sense.
Yeah, so I was like, why in the world would I do that?
Yeah,
no, like, I'm not going to Harvard after this and need the AP course. I'm going to go to the shitty state schools in Pennsylvania like the rest of these idiots.
Right. Yeah. No. Like you could theoretically get like a 5.0.
Yeah. No. So the most that you can get at our school was a 4.0 at the time. I was like, I'm certainly not going to do additional work for no reason whatsoever. You guys are stupid. If you want to give me extra credit for it, then I'll happily do it. But no, I'm not going to work harder.
Yeah.
Instead, I mostly just took a bunch of naps in high school. Great. I'd love to go back.
Yeah, my senior year report card's great. Like there was one quarter I got above a 4.0 just because like I wanted to prove that I could, because my sister always did. And then the next quarter I think I got like a 2.1 with a D in gym.
I only took 5 classes each semester in high school and had 4 off periods.
Yeah. Nope. Because I had to make grades third quarter for baseball anyway, so I went ahead and just like crushed it. And then my fourth quarter is just like...
There was a threshold where if your grades were good enough and you were a junior or a senior, you can leave during any of your off periods. So study halls, lunches, whatever. So I did just enough work in those 2 years to cross that threshold so that I can go home for like 2 hours and play video games. I
remember you telling me that you had it set up where you basically could just leave school at 10 o'clock or something.
Yeah, so I remember this so vividly. It's stupid. I had off basically 5 periods a day. I didn't have to be in for the first 2. Then I had 2. Then I had off all 3 lunches. And then I had 2 more classes. And then I had the final 2 off. But on 2-hour delay days, they would move the schedule around so that lunches basically still happened at lunch. And I would have the first 5 periods off on a 2-hour delay. So anytime that we had a 2-hour delay for weather, I didn't have to be at high school till like 12:30.
Yeah, that works.
Fucking greatest. I could they should allow me to teach schedule building classes at high school because I knocked it out of the park. And some of the classes that I were taking were like home ec, like whatever the easiest math course was that I was able to take at that time. Business law, consumer law, all with the same teacher that didn't really care that I was there. It was great. I miss high school so much.
Yeah.
It's also probably why my high school is not churning out much of anything.
DFS touts.
Silver medalist in baseball. That's about it. So looks like we would have had a very similar senior years if you were at my high school.
Yeah.
Lots of no working and playing baseball.
Yep.
Let's go to Houston. Unless you have any other Oklahoma City takes.
Nope.
Rockets Spurs. 113.5 implied total for the Rockets. 107.5 for the Spurs. This is a slow plotting affair. Kind of gross. James Harden is 12-4 on FanDuel, 11-4 on DK, 57 on Yahoo. I'm getting a little bit more Harden than I am Russ on FanDuel. I'm not really getting all that much on DK. Are you getting a lot?
I have him a little bit ahead of Russ on DK.
Okay. I don't like this game for Harden at that price tag. Where do I have him in relationship to Russ? Actually, I have him slightly behind Russ on DraftKings.
Oh, by the way, you know how he was like limited to 34 minutes or something?
No.
And then he played 40 minutes in regulation against Memphis.
Harden?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Oh, I mean, D'Antoni, like, he said that he isn't going to rest Harden, but that he'd like to keep him around 34 minutes a game, and then immediately played him 40 minutes against the Grizzlies.
Fair enough. Yeah, I have him in for 36 today. If I gave him more than that, I could get there.
Yeah, I have him at 36 minutes on DraftKings and like 60 points.
Okay. The next guy that we should be talking about is Chris Paul, but I have to ask this question now because it matters. How many minutes did you give Daniel House?
Like 26, 27.
Okay. Who are you taking them from? I don't know who to take them from, so I didn't do it until I got here with you.
I mean, Eric Gordon's back, right?
He is. Everybody should be healthy for this game. As of right now. So I have Tucker, Gordon, Capella, Paul, and Harden, all 32 or higher. I have Fareed, Shumpert, House, Rivers, Green, all in the mid-teens. But I know that House is going to get a lot more than that. I just need to know who to take them from, and I don't know who that is yet because they haven't played at full strength.
Oh, my guess is Gerald Green.
I have Gerald Green at 10.
I have him at 6.
Okay. Like, this is just one I want to walk through with you.
Like, he might play less than that. Like, he might just not be in the rotation.
Gerald Green?
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me.
He's been pretty clearly getting phased back.
I love when people say, like, he doesn't score that much. Who cares how much he plays? Because those minutes don't go to other people then?
Right.
Yeah, I need to see them full strength to see who really takes the haircut. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I don't want to play Daniel House at 4,200 on FanDuel or 4K on DraftKings. Basically, no matter how many minutes I give him.
Yeah.
So, Chris Paul, 6,900 on DraftKings.
Nice.
Yeah. And nice in multiple ways. Lots of Chris Paul for you today?
Probably.
Yeah. I feel like I just play the same damn lineups every night.
Yeah, I really wish they would fix that price because he really hasn't been that good. But
whoever's controlling the Awesemo YouTube account also said nice in chat. I assume it's Brett. Could be Tom or Emac. It could be anybody at this point. I can't not play Chris Paul if he's 6,900.
Right.
So he's in 39% of my lineups. Very comparable today to Bruno Caboclo. Don't take that seriously, people. Chris Paul scores twice as many fantasy points in a minute.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do with Capella.
Yeah, like, is Capella the guy that's going to get the minutes hit for Daniel House?
I have him at 33.
I have him at 32. I don't know what to do with that. Do we know why Capella played 27 minutes on the 19th?
Because Daniel House played like 38.
Right, I understand that. What did he have to?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see the game.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, Houston went on a run with that Fareed, House, Rivers, Paul, Gordon second unit. And Capella did lose 2.5 minutes to a blowout. So like he still would have gotten 30. And he subbed in like 2.5, 3 minutes late in the fourth quarter while Houston was going on that run. So like I still think he plays 32, 33.
Capella?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, the only way that he wouldn't is if they were just saying, like, we're just going to play him 28 minutes till we get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean,
we don't need to beat Capella into the ground right now to get the 3 seed or something.
Right. But like just even looking at that rotation against Atlanta when he played 27 minutes, I'm still pretty confident he plays 32 or 33.
Okay, works for me. I don't have any interest in anything in Houston outside of Harden and Paul. Do you get to Capella?
I don't think so. That's what I'm like. It's tough to project him because he's kind of been all over the place with his health or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll really get there. Like he's more expensive than Jovel. You have Mitchell Robinson at 4,300 at the position. You have DeAndre Jordan on the other side of that at 5,800. So I don't think I'll really get to Capella.
Okay. Cool. Go to San Antonio. Another weird team lately. Pace down spot, 107.5 implied total. Not great for the day. Rockets defense has been good. Are you getting to anybody here? Like Chalk, LaMarcus Aldridge on FanDuel, perhaps?
How much is he on FanDuel?
8,500.
It seems decent. I don't think I'm getting a ton.
Yeah, I have 7% on FanDuel, and it's just like, okay, cool. I don't have anything here, really. I think the only options are kind of Aldridge or Derek White. But what's up with Derek White?
What do you mean?
I don't like it. He's played over 30 minutes once since March 4th.
Yeah.
21, 19. And I think so much of this just becomes like Pop making decisions on the fly. Oh, it's not working here today for Derek White, so we'll let Patty Mills go today. We'll let Marco Bellinelli go today.
Yeah.
In the aggregate, you end up getting like guys at similar minutes ranges, but everybody has like 4 either way for his rotations.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have White at like 27 minutes, and it makes him like borderline for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got like 2% of him. I have him at 28 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything to get excited about for San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm not really getting anything from San Antonio.
Okay, cool. I have a feeling you're going to... Like, I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. I have a feeling you're going to get Bruno when you run a crunch. If nothing changes from right now.
I don't think I will.
Okay. Just, I feel like we're not talking about anyone. Like, we're through 5 games so far. We haven't even been talking for an hour. I can't even think about anybody like we truly advocated for.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. But I don't think I'll get Bruno. Like, I just have him so far down.
Okay, let me be more specific. I think you're going to get a Bruno.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
Yeah. Like, someone is going to be like, why the fuck do I have 50% of this dude?
No, my actual guess is that it's Mitchell Robinson.
Okay.
Which I'd be totally fine with.
Yeah. It doesn't strike me like something is missing out of this slate to really like make pieces fit together better. And I think that is why I'm getting Bruno. And I think that most people are going to get some version of that.
Right. Like, I'm guessing my roster construction ends up looking something like Tyler Dorsey for the minimum.
Yeah.
Some combination of like Van Vliet, Wright, like a couple guys in that price range.
Yeah.
One of the expensive centers, Mitchell.
Haven't even named Moutier yet.
Oh yeah, Moutier. Right. So that group, like probably at least two there. And so like Ford's where it'll be ugly, but I think I'll end up getting up to like Kawhi or George or something.
Right. Yeah, you having George higher will help you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee Bucks 114.75 implied total. Miami Heat 105.25. So 9.5 point favorites for Milwaukee at home. Giannis probable, George Hill probable, Sterling Brown probable. We know that Mirotic and Brogdon are both out. No Dante DiVincenzo, no Pau Gasol. Should be a relatively normal Bucks team. The guys that are out are the guys that are just out. Pace down spot. Miami's defense has been really good as of late. Clearly that's what happens when Kelly Olynyk plays 30 minutes a game. Giannis is 13K on FanDuel, 11.3 on DraftKings, 54 on Yahoo. I don't feel comfortable with what I'm about to say, but I don't have any Giannis right now.
I don't think I really. Well, actually, I was gonna say I don't think I do either. The one reason why I think maybe I could end up getting there is like we were just talking about with just kind of generic roster construction. There are so many of those like cheap guards. There's not the equivalent really at Ford. So even if I have Giannis projected a little bit behind guys like Harden and Westbrook, I think that from a roster construction standpoint, I could end up like putting him ahead.
Okay. My biggest issue here is that I'm getting to LeBron before I get to Giannis, which makes me not happy.
Yeah. I could see it. Like he's $1,000 less on DraftKings.
Yeah, like pace down, good defense. Like there are things ticking boxes that are not great for Milwaukee and Giannis. Miami does have like a guy or two that kind of match up okay with Giannis, as good as like anybody can really.
Right.
So I'm not worried about it all that much. I'm still getting a little bit of Bledsoe on DK, but no one here is getting any ownership. Bledsoe, Middleton, Brolo, like all these guys are sub 10%.
What's Giannis at?
18 on DK.
I mean, I have Giannis at like 60 DraftKings points.
I have him at 55.
I also only have him at 32 minutes.
I have him at 34. Which
I should actually give him. If I go 33, I get him at 61.
Okay.
And I am going to go 33.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks probably should start trying to win some games.
God, I hate this Bucks team. I mean, I like it. They're good. I like them a lot more when Brogdon and Mirotic are healthy.
Yeah, I really hope that they're healthy for the playoffs.
I bet you do.
I did not bet on them to do better than the Sixers without Brogdon.
Right. Yeah, they just need to get themselves right.
I don't even care about Mirotic. Like, I hope he's back. I think he makes them better. But Brogdon's the one that I'm concerned about.
Okay. Go to Miami. Pace up spot. Bucks defense hasn't been crazy amazing lately. I'm getting some ownership in this game. I don't love it. I get too much Jay Rich. I'm pretty confident in that. Are you getting him at all?
I have him as like a neutral, slightly better than neutral play.
Yeah, I'm stuck with him. It's another one of those situations where it's too many minutes. I've got him in for 38 today.
I'm at 36.
Justice Winslow doubtful. Bam questionable. Rodney Magruder doubtful. Why only 36 for Richardson?
Because I don't want to go higher than 36.
That'll work. Do you just not want Josh Richardson to pop up in your lineups?
I mean, I can go 37. He's still kind of there.
38, 39, and 40 in the 3 games without Winslow. I almost went to 40.
Yeah, I guess I have to go higher just because.
Yeah, The problem is when he gets these additional minutes, I feel like he knows it, and he's just like, I can't do anything on the floor. Just need to be out there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting some J. Rich. Like, it's weird. This whole team grades out as like that could be feasible in a lineup. I'm getting a lot of Kelly Olynyk, and I even cut his minutes a little bit. Do you have any interest in Olynyk here?
No, not particularly.
Okay. I only gave him 28 minutes, but he's still popping up a little bit for me. I mean, 10% on DraftKings, but no one is on him. I got a little bit of waiters on FanDuel, and then I'm getting quite a bit of Derek Jones. FanDuel as a drop, 46% owned as well. 33 on DK. I got 27%. We have got him at 45. Are you going to get Derek Jones as a punt today?
Yeah. I'll have him over Bruno.
Okay. I don't blame you. What else? Anybody talk to me about the Heat? What's standing out for you, if anything?
Nothing really. I mean, obviously still waiting on news. Like Bam's a big deal.
Oh yeah, if Bam is out, what in the world does Hassan Whiteside's ownership go to?
Right. Like Whiteside becomes great. Olynyk gets a boost. James Johnson gets a boost. Derek Jones has to play more. It just has such a trickle down effect because you would take Kelly Olynyk minutes, slide them to the 5, and then that opens up, minutes at the 4 and on the wings. So huge news there. But assuming that he's in, I don't get a ton here outside of wanting to use Derek Jones just for the savings. I do like the spot for Jones just from a standpoint of he should be able to rack up some defensive stats. It's a pace-up game where he can get out and run. Obviously, there's plenty of foul risk for him, but he's really, really cheap.
God. In a way, I want Bam to sit this one out.
It would open up. It would change the entire slate.
Yeah, that is. I would say it's the most important piece of news that we have waiting. I mean, 5K Hassan Whiteside today, if Bam is out, is going to be owned in like an infinite number of lineups.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That will change the entire structure of getting to Jokic, getting to Vooch, getting to these other center only guys.
Yeah, like I'd end up
with so much more Russ and Harden.
Right, because I would end up going to like Whiteside, Robinson, and then having all the money to spend at the top.
Yeah, that would change the whole shape. Whew. Keep an eye on that. The good news is this game's at 8:30, so we probably won't know by 7. Right. Any Dwayne Wade? I know you love him.
Yeah, I think he's fine. But the thing is just like that's the most concentrated price range of like good plays today is that, like 5K guard range.
Yeah.
Which means he should be like 1% owned.
Right. Wow. God, that Whiteside stuff is going to be insanity. If Bam is out, is Whiteside your clear number 1 center on either site?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would be my guess as well. All right, let's close this out. Actually, do we have any Thrive props for this game? We probably do. We do indeed. Giannis. Points, rebounds, assists, 45.5 is the number. You get 95 points for the over.
45.5?
Correct.
Way over.
Yeah, I have him at 47.2, but it would not be one of my top 10 props.
I'm at 49.8.
Comes in at 15th for me. I have another guy in this game that comes out a little bit higher. Dion Waiters, rebounds and assists, 5.5.
I love that prop for Dion Waiters.
Yeah,
just the choice of stats.
Yeah. And which two stats do you think Dion Waiters cares about the least? Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm at 6.2.
I have him at 6.7. It is my number 8 prop. Okay, let's close it out. Late night hammer. The Los Angeles Lakers, 115.25 implied total, hosting the Brooklyn Nets, 114.25. Lakers still 1-point favorites here. If we take a look at LA, Josh Hart questionable, LeBron probable, air guitar questionable. For Brooklyn, still no Allen Crabbe, Shabazz Napier probable. That is not relevant information. Start on the Lakers side. Really big pace up spot. Both these teams, it's not even just pace up, but both teams play pretty quick. Implied total is really nice. So 10-8 for LeBron on FanDuel, 10-3 on DK, 50 on Yahoo. I have him in for 32 minutes. I got 19% LeBron on FanDuel today.
I'm at 32 minutes also. I still have him pretty far behind Giannis. And by pretty far, I mean on DraftKings, I have him projected for 10 points less.
Yeah, I don't have much interest in either one of those guys on DK. I didn't get much LeBron at all, and I'm not upset about that. Just 3% on FanDuel. I'd rather have LeBron than Paul George. That doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Paul George projected for more points than LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron by 3. And I'd rather have LeBron than Giannis just because of the $2,200. So I only really have Kawhi ahead of LeBron, at least on FanDuel.
Yep.
Doesn't make me happy, but 10-8 is reasonable for 32 minutes, I think, in a game where it could be a little bit more up-tempo, but he could just totally quit as well.
Right.
Thank God I don't have to get any points based on paying attention on defense, because that I would probably fade LeBron then. I do have a lot of this Lakers team though. How do you feel about Kuzma and Rondo?
I'm guessing not as good as you do.
I'm guessing now. I have a lot of both of these guys.
I don't.
Okay. Any thoughts as to why?
I have Kuzma at 34 minutes. I have Rondo at 30.
Okay, I have Rondo at 32. Same for Kuzma. Yeah, they're grading out really well. I assume that the pace and that implied total are really pushing them forward. What do you have Kuzma on a per minute basis?
0.96.
Okay. Yeah, I have him at 0.99. I got 26% on DraftKings, and we're projecting him for 5.
Yeah, I have him at 32 and a half DraftKings points.
I have him at 35. I'm getting a ton of Kuzma and Rondo right now.
Yeah, I have Rondo at 31 and a half. For me, the biggest issue with Rondo is just again, DeLon Wright's cheaper, Van Vliet's cheaper, Moutier's cheaper. There's another guy that we like that's cheaper that I can't think of. Chris Paul's 500 more.
Yeah. Yeah, I have Rondo at 1.05 for this game. 34.5 DK points. I'm gonna end up heavy on the Lakers today. I'm a little nervous about it. Is there a blown defensive assignment stat? How do you feel about JaVale?
I like him more than Kuzma and Rondo.
Okay.
Problem is just that I still don't really get to him over Robinson for $900 less on DraftKings.
Yeah. I have him grading out better than Kuzma and Rondo, but I don't get nearly as much from an ownership perspective.
Especially Kuzma because of the position.
Yeah.
How many minutes do you have McGee at?
24, and
okay.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, same boat.
I'll set it so that I get him, and I'll set it so that I don't get him in Bruno territory.
Bruno territory.
So.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at too.
And then I will feasibly use Josh Hart as a FanDuel punt if it needs to happen. He's 3,600. I won't be enthusiastic about that because he's terrible.
Yeah,
5.6 FanDuel points per minute over his last 30 days.
I mean, he's hurt too. He's having knee surgery in the offseason. I don't know why he's playing.
No, neither do I. Makes no sense to me. But you need a place to drop salary, and he's playing. At least he'll be on the floor. I don't really recommend him as anything good. Alrighty, revenge narrative time. We're heading to Brooklyn. D'Angelo Russell is 8,900 on FanDuel, 8,300 on DK. 15% ownership on DraftKings. I'm a little under that number. 10% on FanDuel at 8,900. Are you getting to D'Angelo Russell here?
I hope so.
I have a lot on FanDuel.
Really like him.
Yeah, me too. I don't give a shit about that revenge narrative, but
yeah,
I like when they are in lockstep with whatever I've got going.
I kind of don't because it drives up his ownership.
He's at 10% on FanDuel. It's not going anywhere right now. I mean,
But yeah,
ultimately, yeah.
your ownership projections, how much do they factor in that people think D'Angelo Russell against the Lakers makes him a better player?
I assume not at all, but I have no idea. I hope not. Yeah, I want to have a bunch of him. I don't love the $8,300 price tag on DraftKings, but it's fine. I just like D'Angelo Russell. I gave him 31 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at 32.
Okay.
I'm at like 45 and a half DraftKings points.
Yeah. Okay, we're calibrated correctly on that one. Spencer Dinwiddie, 5,500 on FanDuel, 5,900 on DraftKings. Makes the decision a little bit easier. What?
Love FanDuel price.
Yeah, I got 26% of Dinwiddie on FanDuel right now. Still got over the field on DraftKings. Do you have any issue playing D'Angelo Russell and Spencer Dinwiddie together?
No, normally I do a max 2 of LeVert, Dinwiddie, Russell.
Yeah. I'd set that one, but I just assume that I won't get Karis LeVert anyway, so... Which looks pretty true right now. 4% of my ownership on FanDuel and flat 0 on DK. Do you like LeVert by any chance?
Not really. I mean, I think he could do well, but there's a ton of other guys I'd rather play. The one thing that maybe makes him a little bit more appealing is that he has that guard forward eligibility on DraftKings.
Right. I'm also getting, and this is par for the course lately, but again, price is carrying it forward. Joe Harris is 4,100 on FanDuel, 4,600 on DK. 4,100 for his particular position on FanDuel is kind of hard to ignore in a pace-up spot. He's nothing like... He's not going out there and doing anything crazy, but he's like a functional punt at 4,100. Should play 28, 29, 30 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, sounds right to me.
Yeah, it's not a sexy play or anything like that. He's just a guy that gets ownership from me at that price tag in that position. It's a full function of the way FanDuel is structured.
I forgot the unit that Brooklyn closed with against the Kings.
Yeah, a couple guys playing all of the fourth quarter. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, Jared Dudley. It was really gross.
So obviously we don't want to take anything away from that. That was a game where they were down by like 30 points. Yeah. The only thing that scares me is we know how fluid Kenny Atkinson's rotations are.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the Nets came back from 25 points with Jared Dudley, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, and Treveon Graham playing kind of scares me as far as what his rotation could look like tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I left Jared Dudley out and gave Rondé Hollis-Jefferson 12 minutes because it seems like they both came in the third quarter, so they were about to get run maybe anyway.
It was a 28-point game.
At that point in time, even when one of them came in a little bit earlier than the other.
Yeah. Hollis-Jefferson came in the third, Dudley came in the fourth, Graham came in the third.
Graham is the one I was thinking of then.
Yeah, but it was the 28-point game when they came in.
Yeah. So I basically had like 12 minutes to go around. It could be Dudley. It could be. I don't think that they matter all that much.
Yeah, my point was basically just that, maybe Kenny Atkinson went to sleep last night like, man, I really would like to find a few minutes for these guys.
Yeah.
And then the second that Dinwiddie, LeVert, you name it, misses a defensive assignment, suddenly he's on the bench.
Yep. Yeah, he's not going to have any trouble being like, hey, Jared Dudley, go ahead in there. Like, that's right. No coach is bummed about doing that. I mean, in a way they are because Jared Dudley's not any good, but he's like a hard worker.
Right.
You don't mind rewarding him.
Right.
Do you get any Jared, or do you think you'll get any Jared Allen on DraftKings? Because I'm getting a little bit more than double the field.
I don't think I will, just because he's 1,200 more than Robinson. He's more than McGee. He's the same ballpark as Jordan. I have all those guys ahead of him.
Okay. Yeah, I got 13%, so nothing crazy. 5,500, just a guy that I'm keeping an eye on. These guys are all significantly priced better on FanDuel, whether it's Dinwiddie or Harris or Damari Carroll. I'll have some Ed Davis on FanDuel as a power forward drop option, which happens basically every time the Nets play.
Yep.
I don't have anything else here.
Fourth quarter was so nuts.
What?
Russell's fourth quarter was just so nuts.
So dirty.
27 points in the fourth quarter.
It's craziness. Craziness. I don't have anything else.
Yeah,
It's
Russell.
A weird slate.
Russell easily my favorite guy there.
Yep, not close for me. Well, a little close. Dinwiddie at 5,500 is oddly close. I think that's it.
Yeah, this is a weird slate. It's definitely one. Actually, I don't even want to say that. I was gonna say it's definitely one where, since we don't feel very strongly on many guys, that I'll probably end up like being dictated more by ownership than normal. But I don't even know if that's the case, because like I don't want. There are a few like plays that I really like, and I don't feel the need to like get away from them either.
Right. Yeah, and look, everything hangs on Bam. If we get that news early today, then everything that we just talked about changes.
Yep.
And you now have the ability to play those expensive guards a lot more than you do right now.
Yeah, because like Hassan Whiteside is better than DeLon Wright if Whiteside's getting 30 minutes.
Yep, 100%. There we go. Coming up rest of the day, Lofty will have the deep dive out in the early afternoon. Deeper dive from 5 to 6. Adam will be back with Lofty, breaking down these games again. Should have some more news at that point. And live before lock from 6 to 7, Chris Baggs, Fast Eddie Fear, taking you all the way up until it shuts down at 7 p.m. We will have the Awesome Odds betting show coming up in 40 minutes, 11:30 a.m. Ben Rasa, Jordan Frank. I assume topic of conversation will be very heavy into yesterday's March Madness games and games to bet on today. Ben dropped a March Madness article earlier today, so go check that out. I think that's it for Friday content. Caleb has a tennis article out for day 4 of the Miami whatever tournament it is, but it's out.
Open, I think, is the word.
It might be. I don't know.
I
Miami Open? That sounds way too generic. I don't know, but we have it. Tennis content, college basketball, baseball is coming up in a couple days. Get excited, or, don't.
I started finally trying to get some of my Excel stuff done for baseball.
I'm going to spend all of tomorrow doing it. It's going to be a chore.
It is the Miami Open.
It is the Miami Open. Exciting. The Miami Open. Check out Caleb's article. It's on the site today.
It's sometimes known as the Miami Masters.
There we go. That's a better name. Adam, anything else?
Nope.
Hour and 22 minutes on a 7-gamer. There's just not that much to talk about. It's either really clear or really gross.
Yep.
Alrighty. We are out of here, everybody. Have a good weekend. The two of us will be back together on Monday morning. Best of luck, everybody. We're out. Bye.